Hi everyone, this is a video about Hyprland, a desktop compositor for Linux Wayland, and in this video we'll see if it is really an alternative to a desktop environment like GNOME, and we'll see the configuration that I made. And I try to do the most simple configurations because the Hyprland ecosystem is very big, but I like simple things. So this is the version. This is Hyprland 0.50, and we also use this nice panel. So this is the unique extension that I added to this configuration, and this panel is called Hyprpanel. So Hyprpanel, and this is version 0.1.0, so it's a quite recent extension. So if you like the effects with the blur and opened in a compulsive way, this is the desktop for you. So let's start with the why you should use Hyprland. So if you like eye candy effects, Hyprland probably is the best compositor for Linux. So you have not only transparency but also blur. It means that when you open a window, it isn't just transparent, but it is also with blur, so the background became less in focus, and you can see here with this window, it's like a fog effect, and it works on the background but also in other windows. And this is htop. So let's talk also about RAM usage. So I will open the file manager, and when you open Hyprland at the startup, it takes about 1 GB of RAM. This is a quite simple session with Hyprland, Hyprpanel, and Sigfing. So this is about 1 GB, which is almost the same for GNOME desktop. So if you need more RAM efficient tiling window manager, probably you should try Niri or Sway, which is even more minimal. And yeah. Let's see also the configurations. So let's start with Hyprland. This is Hyprland. So these are my configurations, which are not very extreme. Here you can map your most used applications like the terminal, and Kitty probably is the best terminal here because it also uses the transparency, the file manager of your choice, the menu, which is the launcher like this one to open the applications, and your browser of choice. And here it's Brave. This is Hyprpanel. So with exec once, you can choose to run the Hyprpanel, and that's it. So you just have Hyprpanel and Hyprland. I saw on GitHub many advanced configurations, but for me are like bloatware because I like simple desktop. And then here you can configure gaps. So here you can increase or decrease the gaps. This is the outer gap. So let's put 15 and save. And as you can see, the changes are applied immediately. So it's nice to have. And if you have errors, you also should see a banner on top. This is the border size. It's yeah, you can make a lot of configurations in Hyprland. I also enabled the resides on border, which normally is false, and it means that you can use your cursor to increase or decrease the size of the window, also in tiled windows. And yeah, I also have the gestures, so I can move like this with a trackpad. I disabled the cursor warp, which means that when you change tile, by default the cursor goes to the center of the tile. I don't like this feature, so I disabled. And here are the other configuration, like rounding, opacity for windows, and here I didn't change much. Also in animations, these are the default animations and the default behavior when you do the tiling. So if you open a window, this is full screen. When you open another window, now the two windows are split in half. And then it depends, you can move the cursor or you can use super, the window key and the arrows to decide where to split again the window. So here I'm on right, now I'm in the bottom right, and again, and I can go like this almost forever. And with the super W I close the windows, but you can configure the shortcuts as you prefer. This is the keyboard configuration. So in GNOME you use interfaces in settings. Here you use this configuration file, which is in .config hyprland.config. And here I just enabled compose caps, which it is useful to do special letters with accents. So compose E tick, and I have E with accent. Compose E the other tick, I have the other accent, so it's the compose key. Natural scroll, it means that the touchpad behaves like in macOS. And then here are the gestures to move from a workspace to another one. These are default. These are all the key bindings for my setup. So with the super space I open this launcher. And another useful thing is the full screen. So this is a normal window like this, but sometimes I want a full screen window. So with the super F you see that the panel is gone, and with the Super F again, you can see the animation, and the windows restore the correct position, the initial position. This is a command that I put for the standby with the Super P, but if you enable this panel, you can use this one. Beware that it uses systemd suspend, so you don't have the screen lock. If you want to have the screen lock, so that it asks for a password, you need to use something like sway idle, because it isn't managed in this configuration. This is the night light, so the red filter for the night to avoid white colors. And yeah, with the super and the numbers, you can move easily from one desktop to another one without moving or touching the trackpad. Okay, and with the super shift the number, you can move a window to another desktop quite easily. So super shift 1, super shift 2, super shift 3, 4 and 5. This is a free workspace, so it takes all the space around. Okay, then you can also switch workspace with super and the mouse wheel, but I don't use it much. You can resize windows. It can be useful in some particular situations where you can do super B, and then with the super you can move the window, but you can also resize it. So if you have something that you need always on top, you can use this technique. And it's interesting that you can have on top this window, but you can type in another window without losing the focus. As you can see, I'm typing in the window behind, and it could be useful in some situations. Okay, these are the key bindings for the brightness. So here in the right, you can see this is managed by the Hyprpanel, so you don't need many pieces to do it, and it also works for the brightness and for the volume, so it's the same. This is for the screenshots, so with the print key you can use Hypershot to do it. And now this is a quite interesting configuration. Normally in GNOME it's very hard to have global shortcuts, at least nowadays, but in Hyprland you can do something like a pass-through. So special key bindings could be global, and this is very useful in programs like OBS to record the videos, that you can use this shortcut also when the window isn't on focus. And in GNOME you need to do very bad hacks to do it, but here you can use this Wayland compositor to do it quite easily. So with the pass, you can pass not every key, but just some keys, some shortcuts to the OBS program when it is open. And then here also we have some hacks, in particular this one for file pickers, because the default behavior is that when you have a window open and you receive a file picker request, it opens the file picker in another side window, but it isn't what you want. So for some programs like text editor or something, you can do open, and you see the file picker like in a normal desktop environment with a floating window, not a tiled window, which is very weird to see file pickers like that. And also like the calculator, you can have these exceptions to have floating windows centered instead of tiled windows. And you can also resize, because some programs aren't very nice to look at with a tiled window. Yeah, okay, so this is the some exceptions, and this is probably something advanced for a normal user, but in Hyprland I think it's useful to have these exceptions. And now we have a look to the configurations for the dock. So this one, this is the panel like in some docks for GNOME or KDE. So here we can turn off the computer, start, standby, and so on. We also have the color picker. So if you need a particular color, it is integrated in this panel, which is interesting. This is the color. And then we have some shortcuts for some paths which are configured. But the important part is this one, which is Hyprpanel configurator, because the configuration is here in Hyprpanel. Okay, so here we have the configuration, but honestly it's complicated to edit. It's much more easier to use the tool that is provided by Hyprpanel. And other things are screenshot, color picker, and this is the integrated recorder. And also here you have some toggles for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, notification, and so on. So it's like a normal desktop. So let's see. This is the bar. These are the widgets. So here you can change the microphone if you have multiple microphones. Here is a Wi-Fi widget, the Bluetooth widget, the battery widget. So you can also change from power saving to balanced mode if it is supported. This is the calendar, and this is the notification. So let's try to do a notification. Notify send ciao, and you don't see it, but we have the notification because I normally have notification disabled. So let's try again, ciao again, and as you can see here we have a notification, and here we can clear all the notification. And this also it's integrated with Hyprpanel, so if you install Hyprpanel you get all the notifications integrated. So let's see the configuration of this panel, but it is much more than just a panel. With this gear you open a new window, which is the configurator for the panel. So you have configuration and theming, and with theming you can change the colors. You can change the color of the bar, but also individually of every widget. So you can do all the experiments here, but I find more interesting the configuration because by default, at least for me, this bar it's very big. It's like 1.2 rem, so it's very big. So with the windows and you can drag, you can put this bar to a normal size, at least for me, and you also have to press enter. And now you can have a more useful bar. So beware of this, because I think it depends on your configuration. Probably you need to tweak this parameter as soon as possible. And here you have other configurations, like the font weight. I don't know why it is in configuration and not in theming. So there are a lot of things that you can change here. And you can also change the size of every overlay panel individually here, but I do not recommend to change this feature. So, and yeah, this is there are a lot of things that you can change here. This is bar, so this is bar, and you also have a JSON to edit here if you want to change the order of these widgets. For instance, I changed the order of the C-tray. So like this OBS icon, by default it was like around here, but I prefer to have a C-tray at the beginning, so I changed here the position, and then I pressed save. Yeah, you can change other things, and if you break your configuration, you can press this reset all settings. But yeah, I prefer to change as little as possible here. But if you want every widget here, it's configurable. So if you want to show or not the Wi-Fi name, you can do it here, and also for Bluetooth. So if you want to enable this configuration to show on and off on Bluetooth, you can see immediately the changes. Media menu, it's for, I disabled it, it's for the open videos. This is for the configuration. You can ignore some notifications if you don't like them, for some kind of apps, and also for the volume. So you don't need to change manually the JSON for this configuration. You can use this tool. And a very important thing is also this one. So you can import and export configuration. So you can make a backup of your settings here. Okay, so this was my tour for Hyprland and Hyperbar. On the official website you can find much more information. This is for Hyprland. I think that Arch Linux and NixOS probably are the best Linux supported operating system. So if you press install, you can use Arch. I just installed Hyprland. And for the Hyprpanel, it's a little bit more problematic because it's a very new software in the Hyprland ecosystem. And here, as you can see, you can do a lot of tweaks, configuration, change individually the colors and so on. And I used this command, so with yay -s ags hyprland -git. And you also need some more dependencies. So if you need more dependencies, here it's another command. In other distro, you probably need to build it manually. So this is Nixos and Arch Linux. So it's a very new project, Hyprpanel, but with just 2 components you can have a full desktop like GNOME, more or less. Let me know in the comments if you like this minimal Hyprland configuration, and that's it. See you in another video. Bye.